So let me get this straight. When Africa is shown as poor, broken, starving, and violent, the world is uncomfortable. But when Africa claims one of her own and celebrates him and embraces him and hands him a passport, suddenly it's a problem. Now, Ghana's foreign minister announced that the government had approved a Ghanaian passport to one of the most influential young black men in the planet right now, and that is iShowSpeed, who is a 21-year-old black American with 50 million YouTube subscribers and a global audience bigger than most TV networks and a reach that governments only dream of. And Ghana said, hey, you are one of us. Now, immediately, the noise started. Some people said Ghana was devaluing its passport, and others said that this was just celebrity worship. And some even said, why give citizenship to foreigners? And I need us to pause right there, because when Europe gives passport to billionaires, when America fast tracks citizenship for athletes and tech CEOs and investors, nobody talks about devaluation. But when Africa opens her arms to a black son of the diaspora, now it's suddenly irresponsible. Let's watch this video.
The Ministry of Foreign Affairs has approved the issuance of a Ghanaian passport to iShowSpeed.
Countries confer citizenship on celebrities for a variety of strategic, symbolic, and economic reasons. Places are being booked left, right, center. It is contributing directly or indirectly to our economy. True. Don't sit there and bastardize the whole process and make it look like as Obabe Flippy or Ghana Black Stars name Keke.
People don't know. People only feel that because of what he came to do in Ghana, that is why the ministry, they give him the passport.
I feel like people for calm down, people for chill.
And as a black South African, this story hits quite deep, because we come from a continent where borders were drawn by colonizers and not us, right? Where families were ripped apart by slavery and forced into migration, where millions of black people didn't leave Africa, but they were taken away. So when Ghana says, hey, the ties are infutable, they're not talking about paperwork only, but they're talking about the history in itself. And let's talk about what iShowSpeed has actually done in the past couple of months, right? This young man didn't come to Africa with a savior complex, and that's what I love. He didn't come with pity. He didn't come to lecture us. He came curious, and he came loud, and he came as human, and he showed his millions of young, mostly young followers, right? Showing Africa laughing, showing Africa cooking, Africa dancing, Africa building, Africa living. And that's the beautiful part of this. Let's watch.
What the hell is that? What the?
Oh my goodness! What is this? Oh! Oh my goodness! It's that time! Let's go!
Y'all probably wondering why I'm crying. I've been watching Speed streams, and I'm seeing all the love that he's getting in Angola. He's in South Africa, and he's getting massive amount of love, and the way that he was treated in Europe was disgusting. But to see him be a black man from the United States of African descent and be able to go back to the continent and be treated like a human by civilized African people. When we've been taught that Africa is primitive, that it's dangerous, don't go back, they have this, they have that. They don't want you, they don't like you. And to see an African American man with his stature go back to the motherland and be treated with so much respect. This is what our people fought for. This is what they fought for when they fought against Jim Crow and segregation. This is what the slave revolts were about. This is what it's always been about. Is to be able to go back home to a home that you've never been and be unapologetically black and not have to think about being black. Just being able to have your natural hair and your brown skin and not be judged and not be racially profiled and not be killed. I love the love that he is getting.
Man, this whole time, bro, they made us fucking think Africa was such a poor country, bro. Such a place you wouldn't want to be at, bro. And Speed is single-handedly changing my perspective on life. Like the music in Africa, the culture, everything, every single aspect of Africa just makes my insides feel so good, bro. And it makes me just want to leave America. Bro, I feel like America is the trap. America is the trap. The American dream is the trap. Everybody else is free, but not free from America. America's the problem, bro. America's the fucking problem. And I'm ready to get the fuck out of here. Like, Speed, thank you, bro.
Now, it's no secret that for decades, Western media has constantly told one story about Africa, that we are poor, that there's wars, there's diseases, there's hopelessness. And it's quite amazing that it just took one YouTuber with a phone to show another. And suddenly Black Americans are posting videos saying, hey, I didn't know Africa was like this. And that right there, that's power in itself. And let's be clear, Ghana is not being emotional, but I love that they're being strategic about this. They've been building bridges with the diaspora for years. They've offered citizenship to hundreds of Black Americans. They've launched the Year of Return. They've positioned themselves as a spiritual and cultural home for displaced Africans. And this passport thing is not charity, but it's diplomacy. And here's the real tension, right? Who gets to decide who belongs in Africa? Colonial borders, Western passports, or African nations exercising sovereignty? Because when Africans move to Europe, we're told to integrate. When diaspora comes home, suddenly there are rules about purity. And that contradiction tells you everything. Now, iShowSpeed didn't just receive a passport, but what is beautiful about this is that he went through a traditional naming ceremony, which was quite refreshing to see. And let's be honest about the fear, right? I think the fear is not just about the passports in itself. The fear is about a reconnected Africa, a continent that is linked to its diaspora, and a generation of Black people who no longer see Africa as a last resort, but as a source. Because once that mental shift happens, control slips. And yes, iShowSpeed came here too. He came to South Africa, Nigeria, Morocco, Botswana, Ethiopia. He was showing the world that Africa is not one story, but it is many. And that matters more than any tourism campaign. This is Africa saying, we will tell our own stories. We will choose our own ambassadors. We will define our own belonging. Not CNN, not Hollywood, and not colonial approval. So, to those saying Ghana is devaluing as passport, I want you to ask yourself why African pride makes you so uncomfortable. Because when Africa finally claims her children, the old world order starts to shake. And that's not something to fear, but that's something to actually celebrate, because Africa's not asking for permission anymore, but we are just doing. And let's continue the conversation in the comment section. I do want to hear what your thoughts are on this. And while you're at it, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. That's it from me. Till we meet again.